This rectangle right here is called a viewport. It was made automatically by AutoCAD. I'm going to delete it on purpose to show you how to make your own. First of all is paste our title block on Paperspace. So right click, clipboard, paste. Choose anywhere in your drawing. It actually doesn't matter where, so just place it onto the drawing. Now we have a copy of your title block in Paperspace, and the model space still has your drawing. The title block drawing is where the title block came from. Back to our drawing. Remember Paperspace and ModelSpace. Back to Paperspace. We need a viewport. We need to make a new layer called Viewport, which I forgot to do apparently. So click on New, New, Viewport. We'll make it a color orange like color, which is 30. Right there, 30. I'll make it current so I can draw on that layer. The command for drawing a viewport is mview, M-V-I-E-W, like you see there. Enter. If you hit the down arrow, you can see all these different options. We're not going to do any of those options. We're just going to draw a viewport by drawing a window from one side to the other. I'm purposely not going to touch the title block so that you can see the viewport temporarily. The viewport is orange. When you draw the viewport, what's in ModelSpace will appear. If you find something unusual, for example, let me give you an example. Let's say you draw a circle way back then that was way too large, like really large. When you go to and you make a viewport, let me do that again, MView. Let's say you didn't know that circle was there. Try not to snap to your title block in the demonstration. You might notice something like this. Then you'll have to go back here. Most likely you were zoomed in like this. You would say, hey, there must be a circle out there. Go out there, erase it. And over here, it'll be gone. Alright, so the drawing is in there, but it's very small. You can also see a grid, which is kind of get it in the way. I'll explain how to take care of that as well. Alright, so here's your viewport. We don't want to see the viewport, so I'm going to show you how to turn that off. You're going to use the freeze option. It says the current layer cannot be frozen because the current layer. You can turn off the current layer instead of freezing it, or you can make a different layer the current layer. I did that on purpose so you could read that message. So let's do that. Let's make a different layer current. And now we can freeze the viewport layer. You'll see it disappear. Alright, how to get into the viewport. A couple different ways. You double click. And now I'm inside the viewport, as you can see here as I move things around with my pan button. You can double click outside the viewport to get back to Paperspace. You can know the difference because you'll see a UCS icon that represents ModelSpace where you're inside ModelSpace, or you'll see the Paperspace icon for when you're in Paperspace. Let's double click back inside the viewport and turn off the grid. Now you can see things quite a bit better. The other way to get inside and outside the viewport is the command MS and PS. So MS inside the viewport, PS outside the viewport. Let me draw a rectangle. As you see, I drew over the drawing. Now if I click on the Model tab, you will notice there is no rectangle here. That's important to let you know that you never draw in Paperspace. For example, you might say, oh, I forgot a dimension over here. Let me add that dimension. I could still select things as you see here. There's 2 3s side by side, but if I go to the Model tab, it's not there at all. The point here is never make changes while you're in Paperspace. Let me double click inside the viewport to show you what I mean. See? It let me snap to it, but it's not really part of the drawing. So if I try to delete it here, I cannot until I type in PS, so I could delete. Another common mistake people do is they'll zoom in and double click on a viewport, and they make changes because they realize, this is the wrong centerline pattern. Now you better use the LT scale and change it to 0.5, and that looks much better. In fact, I think that's overdoing it, so I'll type in LT scale and change it to 0.75, and that looks more professional there. And now I can't get out of my title block because no matter how far I zoom out, I can't ever see my title block. So I type in PS, enter, and then I zoom out, and there's my title block, and my drawing's really small. Now let's talk about how to scale your drawing. Type in MS, enter, type in Z, enter, E, enter to zoom in and center your drawing. Now you type in Z, enter, and a scale factor. As you see here, the XP option. So not the X option, but the XP option. So I type in 1 for full size, XP, 1 XP, and to see if it's full size. It is full size, but double click out here or type in PS, I see that it's full and it's correct. If it was not full size, for example, Z enter 0.75 XP, that represents 3/4 size. If you printed this scale, then this would have to say 3/4 equals 1, as you see there. Alright, I'm going to keep it 3/4 scale. You keep yours at full. Z enter, E enter, Z enter, 1 XP enter.